After studying this module, we shall be able to know about three levels of strategy, understand how functional level strategies and business level strategies complement corporate level strategies, and evaluate the significance of SBU structure for a multi-divisional organization. The success of the business is strongly dependent on how the goals to be attained by the organization are perceived by its management and what are the ways that are devised to accomplish such goals. Strategy of a business organization is reflective of the thinking of those at the top of its management and the action that the management plans to take. Strategies can be formulated at different levels. The strategy forms a comprehensive master plan for an organization. A strategy is concerned with the planned actions that an organization undertakes at each level. There could be corporate level strategies, the business level strategies, and the functional level strategies. Thus, there exist strategic alternatives before a firm at three levels. In this module, we would discuss about the various levels at which strategy operates, that is, the corporate level strategies, the business level strategies, and the functional level strategies. The corporate level strategies are the strategies that are formulated by the top management for the entire organization. Corporate level strategies are meant to serve the company with providing the direction in which it should employ its resources. A business level strategy is the strategy opted by a firm for each of its businesses separately to serve the identified customer groups by providing value to these customers by satisfaction of their needs, and functional level strategies are the strategies pursued by each functional unit of the organization. Levels of strategy. A strategy is concerned with the planned actions that an organization undertakes at each level. A strategy is an integrated set of decisions which specify the where and the how to compete. It is very important to understand how at what levels the strategies operate. There could be the corporate level strategy, the business level strategies, and the functional level strategies. Thus, there exist strategic alternatives before a firm at three levels. That means an organization has to make the choices at the three levels: corporate strategy level, business level strategy, and functional level strategy. Corporate level strategies. The top management of a company is entrusted with defining its corporate profile, describing the company's overall direction and the attitude towards the growth, along with the management of its resources and the grand level. The management has to identify the areas in which the company is and or should be operating. Corporate level strategies are the strategies that are formulated by the top management for an entire organization. Corporate level strategies are meant to serve the company with providing the direction in which it should employ its resources, be it the case of the small business firm involved in a single business or a large diversified conglomerate. These strategies are also known as grand or master strategies. These strategies present an organization with the strategic alternatives that are available. Strategic alternatives revolve around the question of whether to continue or change the business the enterprise is currently in, or improve the efficiency and effectiveness with which the firm achieves its objectives in its chosen business sector. According to Glueck, there are four types of corporate level strategies. These are expansion, stability, retrenchment, combination. Growth or expansion strategies is adopted when an organization aims at broadening its scope of the businesses and achieving high growth. It is generally believed that the growth is the only strategy for a sound firm, but an organization should follow growth strategy only if it is expected that the growth that the organization is aiming for will increase the firm value. Stability strategy. is the corporate level strategy intended to maintain firm's present size and current lines of operation. Growth strategy may be appealing, but it may not always be the most effective strategy. This strategy does not involve much change in the overall direction. The firms opt for the strategy mainly if the firms want to focus on enhancing its existing business. The incremental cost of adding new business are expected to be greater than the potential incremental profits. Generally, this strategy is pursued by the small businesses or the firms which are in the mature stage of development. Further, this strategy does not imply doing nothing approach or that the firm has given up on the objective of increasing profits. Rather, it implies maintaining the status quo. Retrenchment strategy is a corporate level strategy that aims at reducing the size of the operations. Growth strategies and the stability strategies are generally adopted when the firm is in the competitive position. But there may be times when the performance is at the disappointing level and the profits are declining. In such scenarios, retrenchment strategy may be appropriate. It involves withdrawal from the unprofitable customer group, inefficient technologies, and such operations. Combination strategy. Combination strategy is followed when an organization employs a combination of the above mentioned three strategies in its different business units at the same time or in the same business unit at different times. These are also known as hybrid strategies. For example, ITC Limited has a portfolio of FMCG hotels, paperboards and packaging, agribusinesses and IT. Starting in 1910, it adopted backward integration in 1925 into the packaging and printing business. It went for diversification into the hotels in 1975 and agribusiness in 1990 and adopted a turnaround strategy for the specialty paper business. Triveni Tissues after its acquisition and merger with its paperboard business and financial services business was divested. These are various subcategories of the first three types of corporate level strategies that would be discussed in detail in the subsequent modules. The below classificatory system provides a summary of the subdivision of the corporate level strategies. The corporate level strategy is divided into the expansion or the growth, stability, retrenchment, and combination. Expansion and the growth is further divided into concentration, integration, diversification, strategic alliances. Whereas integration is further divided into horizontal and vertical, diversification is further divided into related and unrelated, whereas the stability is divided into further three parts: no change, caution, profit. Retrenchment strategy is divided into three parts: turnaround, divestment, liquidation. The combination strategy is divided into three parts: simultaneous combination, sequential combination, combination of the simultaneous and the sequential strategies. Business level strategies. This strategy is employed at the business unit or the production level and emphasizes the competitiveness of the company's product or services in the specific segment. A business level strategy is the strategy adopted by a firm for each of its business separately to serve the identified customer group by providing value to these customers by satisfaction of their needs. In the process, managers craft competitive strategies for each business unit to create, sustain, and enhance competitive advantage using its competencies. The source of this competitive advantage lies in the way the organization uses its core competencies. This competitive advantage provides an edge against the rival firms and lead to the above average returns to the company. Michael E. Porter pioneered the extensive literature in this area of the business strategies by his contribution through various research papers, articles, and books in the area of business strategies, or what he calls competitive strategies. According to him, the industry is the basic unit of the analysis of the understanding of the competition. It is the industry where the competitive advantage is gained or lost. The dynamic factors determining the choice of the competitive strategies are the industry structure and the positioning of the firm in the industry. The industry structure is determined and influenced by the competitive forces, which he believes are five in numbers: the threat of the new entrants, the threat of the substitute products and services, the bargaining power of the supplier, the bargaining power of buyers, and the rivalry among the existing competitors in the industry. The positioning of the firm is the overall approach that the firm follows for the competing designing to gain a sustainable competitive advantage. It is based on two factors: the competitive advantage and the competitive scope. The competitive advantage can be attained due to lower cost and differentiation, and the competitive scope can be defined by two factors: broad target and narrow target. These factors further the formulation and the choice of the competitive strategies that the firm employs in its business units. When these two factors, competitive advantage and competitive scope, are juxtaposed, the resultant is a matrix that gives us the variants of the competitive strategies. These variants are known as Porter's generic business strategies. Thus, three types of generic business strategies are cost leadership business strategy, differentiation business strategy, focus business strategy. Cost leadership business strategy calls for providing the product at the lower cost relative to the competitors in the industry, thereby making the low cost acts its competitive advantage and gaining a considerable marketing share. Such firms are able to earn higher profit owing to the low cost of its products. This strategy offers a margin of flexibility to the organization to lower the price if the competition becomes stiff and still earn more or less same level of profits. The goal of the firms pursuing this strategy is not only to sell at the lowest price, but to outperform its competitors by producing at the lower cost. For example, Moser Baer India sells CD recordables at the lowest price. It follows the low cost strategy focusing on the economies of scale. Differentiation business strategy. Differentiation business strategy is a strategy wherein the objective is to achieve a competitive advantage by providing a product that is perceived by the customer to be unique. This special and unique feature becomes the competitive advantage that the competitors are not willing to supply. The firm following this strategy may charge a premium price for the unique feature of its product offers. Widen the customer base by addition of the customer who value this differentiation and experience customer loyalty. For example, Parle Agro in 1985 launched Fruity, a non-aerated fruit drink in a Tetra packs, became a generic to the customer who perceived glass bottle drink to be synthetic. Focus business strategies is a marketing strategy whereby an organization concentrates its resources on the narrow market segment, and within that segment it attempts to achieve either a cost advantage or differentiation. The firm seeks to pursue this strategy have to locate a niche in the market where the cost leader and differentiators are not operating. The underlying premise is that the company can cash on the opportunity by better servicing the needs of the group by focusing entirely on it. A firm following this strategy is characterized by a loyal customer base. For example, car manufacturers such as Ferrari, Aston Martin, and Lamborghini compete in the supercars category, pursue focus strategy. In our discussion so far, it has been assumed that the cost leadership and differentiation are mutually exclusive. But the reality is that it is possible that both the strategy may be adopted simultaneously. Integrated cost leadership and differentiation strategy calls for providing the products, goods or services at the low cost through technology that enables product differentiation and focuses on the niche market segment. Similarly, there are the other combinations of the three generic competitive strategies discussed, which would be discussed in the specific modules. Functional level strategy. After the strategies have been developed at the corporate and the business levels, strategies should be formulated at the functional levels as well. For the entire organization to move in the overall direction that has been pursued by the formulation of the corporate strategies with the aid of the business level strategy, the strategy should be formulated at the functional levels as well to support the implementation of the overall strategy at the ground level. Functional strategies deal with a relatively restricted plan designed to achieve objectives in a specific functional area. Allocation of the resources among different operations within that functional area and coordination among different functional areas for the accomplishment of the business and corporate level objectives. These strategies are derived from the business level strategies and corporate level strategies and are implemented through functional and operational implementation. Functional strategies are the strategies pursued by each functional unit of the organization. These strategies underpin the business strategies through the various functional areas of the organization like marketing, finance, human resource, information systems, etc. The responsibility for the decision making at the functional level rests with the functional heads, with the managers at the business unit level responsible for the content of these strategies. Also, there should be coordination and synergy amongst the different function units in order to achieve the competitive advantage. Managers in all functional areas should understand the necessity to integrate the different functional units and to formulate strategies that fit together. The functional strategies are given in the diagram and divided into subparts. The subparts are marketing, operations, financial management, human resource management, information system, and research and development. These strategies are aimed at providing the functional operations. Although each strategy is generally focused on the specific functional area, these generally cater to two or more functions and involve cross-functional issues. How functional level strategies and business level strategies complement corporate level strategies. The primary role of the functional strategies is to support the overall business strategy and competitive approach by performing strategy critical activities. Business firms formulate as well as implement all three types of strategies simultaneously. The grouping of all the strategies of the firm by the level is known as hierarchy of the strategy. This hierarchy of the strategy is a nesting of one strategy with the another so that these strategies complement each other. The corporate level strategies functions as an umbrella strategy, providing direction for the business level and functional level strategies, which include marketing, finance, manufacturing, human resource, and other functional areas specific strategies. Strategies operate at different levels and require congruence and coordination amongst these levels. Such congruence is known as vertical fit. These has to be close link between the overall direction of the organization and the functional strategy and implementation. And a particular functional level strategy must also be linked to other functional level strategies. The functional strategies must be interdependent. There has to be congruence and coordination among the strategies operating at the same level. Such congruence is also known as horizontal fit. For example, a marketing strategy is dependent on the amount of investment, that is, the finance strategy, and on the hiring of the staff, that is, the human resource management strategy, and may also depend on the information system to support the implementation. Functional level strategies support business level strategies, and business level strategies in turn support corporate level strategies. Business level strategy acts as a link between the corporate level strategy and the functional level strategy. It passes down the direction provided by the corporate level strategy to the functional levels so as to enable the formulation of the strategies at the functional level, incorporating the soul of the corporate level strategy. Corporate level strategy act as an umbrella under which and functional level strategies are decided keeping in view the overall corporate direction of the organization. It is the functional level strategies that help the organization move in the right direction, the direction that has been set by the corporate level strategy. Strategic business unit structure. Sharpling defines a strategic business unit SBU as any part of the business organization which is treated separately for the strategic management purposes. In complex, multi-divisional and large organizations, the task of managing divisional operations and strategic controls become difficult. The concept of SBU comes into the picture in such scenarios. It is one of the types of the organization structure. H.C. Bartlett, in his work Cases in the Strategic Management for the Business, describes strategic business unit as a discrete element of the business serving specific product markets with the readily identifiable competitors and for which strategic planning can be conducted. Companies generally pursue this structure when strategic control becomes unmanageable due to the large size, increasing diversity and number of divisions. SBU can be created by adding another level of management in a divisional structure after the division have been grouped under a divisional top management authority on the basis of common strategic interests. Strategic business unit structure is given as CEO is on the first level, then are 3 SBU heads, that is SBU 1 head, SBU 2 head and SBU 3 head. Each head is having the 3 divisions, that is division A, B and C respectively. The advantages that SBU organization structures offers are helps in bringing coordination amongst division having common strategic interests, facilitate effective strategic control in the large diversified organizations, and establishes accountability at each level of distinct business units. The disadvantage of the SBU structure are, in large, diverse organizations, the number of SBUs become too large to be handled and managed effectively. Establishing responsibility, accountability, and defining autonomy for the SBU heads may become extremely difficult, and it leads to addition of another layer of the management between the corporate and the division management. A strategy is an integral set of decisions which specify the where and how to compete. It is very important to understand how and at what levels of strategic operate. There could be a corporate level strategies, the business level strategies and the functional level strategies. Corporate level strategies are the strategies that are formulated by the top management for the entire organization. Corporate level strategies are meant to serve the company with providing the direction in which it should employ its resources, be it in the case of small business firm involved in a single business or a large diversified conglomerate. These strategies are also known as grand or master strategies. There are 4 types of corporate strategies. These are expansion or growth, stability, retrenchment and combination. A business level strategy is the strategy adopted by firm for each of its business separately to serve the identified customer group by providing value to these customers by satisfaction of their needs. The 3 types of generic business strategies are cost leadership business strategy, differentiation business strategy, focus business strategy. Functional strategies are the strategies pursued by each functional unit of the organization. These strategies underpin the business strategies through the various functional areas of organization like marketing, finance, human resources, information system, etc. Strategies operate at different levels and require congruence and the coordination among these levels. Such congruence is also known as vertical fit. Similarly, there has to be congruence and the coordination among the strategies operating at the same level. Such congruence is known as horizontal fit. A strategic business unit (SBU) as any part of the business organization which is treated separately for the strategic management purposes. Companies generally pursue this structure when strategic control becomes unmanageable due to large size, increasing diversity and the number of divisions.